And welcome to episode 30 of the Red Mountain Express. I am Blake Westbrook, and I'm joined, as always, with Matthew Joyner. Matthew, 30.
30 episodes.
Dirty 30.
Dirty 30. We made it.
We made it. My brother turned 30 this week.
I remember 30.
And he's my younger brother, yeah. I wish I was 30. How was your week?
It was a pretty uneventful week. I have been sick with another cold sinus infection all week.
But it wasn't the flu, right?
No, not the flu.
Everybody else
have not had the flu, but this, I remarked to Laura earlier.
There's some wood right there. I need you to knock on that real quick.
I don't do that.
No, I don't need you
I remarked to Laura that this is the first year that I've known this many people to actually get the flu. Like, actually known people, not just heard of.
It's a crisis.
Yeah. Several hospitals have been in, like, shutdown mode for all the patients they've had come in. I know UAB was one of them. I mean, wow. It's just, if you didn't get your flu shot, shame on you. But also, I know that people who got their flu shot are still ending up with a different strain of the flu. So it's just one of those things that you can't necessarily avoid.
Well, the worst thing is that you see people going to work and they have the flu.
Yeah, yes.
You know, you'll be sitting and all of a sudden you hear someone cough and sneeze and cough. Like, are you sick? I think I'm okay. No, I need you to go home.
No, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is people who come to work sick. If it's fine if you have just like I don't know. No, I almost said that, but I thought to myself, I wouldn't want to go to work and be next to somebody with a cold like I had last week and end up with it. I was just thinking how mad I would be at that person. I don't know. If you're sick for those first few days, you should be at home. I know it's not easy. I know some people need.
And in this world of technology that we live in now, you can work from home.
Not everybody can, and I want to be careful not to just like.
That's true. That's true.
There are some jobs where you can't work from home, and some people can't take days off.
I get it, but
you don't get paid for those days off, or you don't have those days off to take. Some people might not have a job to come back to if they take a day off. But still, and I understand, and I want to be sympathetic, but still,
and if you're an employer that fires somebody because they get the flu, shame on you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Simple as that.
Yeah. But you know that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Jobs
doesn't make it right, Matthew.
It doesn't make it right. But jobs aren't always easy to come by. Some employers know they can have a newer employee the next day. But anyway, we're getting way off subject here. No, not the flu, just like a massive cold sinus infection. Just now really getting over it the last day or two. This is like the first day I haven't had to take Mucinex or NyQuil.
I love NyQuil, though.
You know,
that stuff's excellent.
So I had a weird experience this time around. I used to have an off-brand, like a Publix brand bottle of NyQuil that lasted
like nighttime.
Yeah, and it lasted me 2 or 3 of the last colds I've had. I could take like 15 milliliters. It would knock me out. I would feel great all night, sleep through the night. This last time I bought a combo pack of the actual Dayquil NyQuil. Not only do I not like the flavor of it, which is a odd complaint, but it didn't seem to have as much of an effect for me.
You go back to the off-brand, man.
Yeah, I really do.
And NyQuil's great. That stuff.
Any of those types of medicine, man. If you can sleep through the night, that's a blessing.
And I will say this: Dayquil works. I had the cold. I had a really bad cold. I think it was like December, and I was taking Dayquil during the day, and it was a big help.
So, yeah, for sure. Like
that's an endorsed product by Red Mountain Express.
Call us NyQuil and Dayquil.
Yeah, or Publix daytime or nighttime.
Yeah. Call us.
That's right.
How about you? What was your week like? I know you traveled a lot this week.
I traveled this week. I did have to go down to Tallahassee, Florida for work. I was there for a couple days, and that's a long drive. I mean, it's 5 hours by road, but then, you know, when you're driving to Tallahassee, you forget that you change time, so it's really a 6-hour drive by time.
Because that's Central Florida, right?
Yeah. Well, not really. It's the Panhandle. It's the Northeast Panhandle.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But it's an Eastern Standard Time. So, but you get to gain an hour coming back, so it wasn't too bad. Was down there for a couple days, and then Friday and Saturday I reffed a wrestling tournament in Hoover. So, which was fun. It was very enjoyable, and so I'm here. But it was a good weekend. Kind of try to get some rest since there was no football this weekend. The NFL, I think Super Bowl's next week.
That's right.
Of course, college football's over with, so
it'll be back.
I'm
counting down the days.
We got 8-day games coming up, and signing day will be on us soon, and you know.
I got a question about the wrestling though. I just thought of this.
Yeah.
When you're watching them and you're reffing, do you ever miss the good old days? Do you ever want to get in there and like show them a thing or two?
Absolutely. And we have talked about this. I've talked about this with a friend of mine about how you'll be watching two wrestlers on the mat, and you kind of want to tell one, like, man, if you just do this, you get a pin. or the other guy like, oh, he'll start reaching back, which if anybody who was a wrestler is listening right now, you'll know that you never reach back because then you can expose your back to the mat. And when he reaches back, you want to go, no, don't do that, and they get pinned. But wrestling was my favorite sport. I wrestled from when I was in third grade to the time I graduated, and could have done it in college, except my knees would not allow it anymore. But it was my favorite sport. It's a sport that I will say that it's all on you. You cannot blame anybody for failure, and no one else can claim your successes because it's all you. I mean, you're the one doing the pinning, you're the one doing the wrestling, and it's a lot of there's a lot of discipline involved because you have to make weight, and so you come in and you're an ounce over, you're not going to wrestle that day. So just when you're done with practice, you're like, okay, I'm done. I know my moves, but you have to watch what you eat and have a good diet and do a lot of things on your own. It's a sport that I would say that it teaches you a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I think almost any sport does, like different team sports teach you different things about working together with people.
Look,
but
I played football, I played baseball. I love both of those sports as well. I play golf now, which doesn't teach you a whole lot, but how to
sling a club,
if you miss a putt. But wrestling, it was one of the really first sports I took seriously, and knew that I could probably be really, really good at. So, but it was also where it was all about you, and you had to do it. You had to if you failed, it was on you and no one else. You couldn't
blame
say
the weather.
You couldn't blame the weather. You couldn't say, well, I mean, if coaches put me in the fourth quarter, we'd have scored a touchdown. If coaches put me in the third quarter, Tua would have said, but they put Tua in the third quarter, and it's all history. Anyway,
just let it go, man.
I know. But no, it was a great sport. But no, there are times you're like, oh man, just if you would just keep walking that half over, he's gonna roll over. You'll get this pin.
Have you thought about? Here's a business idea for you. You can ref on the weekends.
Yeah.
Then contact these guys and be like, hey, I took some notes. I will tutor you for $25 an hour.
That may be against a lot of good rules. I would think
maybe
that may be a lot of no. I don't have time to do anything else. I mean, I work, I ref, I do a podcast. I mean, it's just
2 jobs, a baby, a podcast.
I'm telling you what. But no, it's fun. This is my first year doing it, and I enjoy it. And it's fun to kind of have coaches in your ear sometimes. So you get to feel the other side of it because, I mean, when I was wrestling, you were always yelling at the ref, and now you're having to take it. So it was good. But I had a good weekend. We went to that new ice cream place, Lucky Cat.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was in Homewood. It's in down the main strip and the main street in Homewood. It was having a soft opening. We did not know this. We were driving by and saw that they were opening today, and I was like, "Oh, good. We'll go by there and try it out." And I will say this: it was good. And I've seen them do this on Facebook. Someone took a waffle cone ice cream and they chopped it up and rolled it up, and it looked good. So I was kind of excited. It was good, but I don't know why you have to roll it up, because basically what they made mine was, it was like a brownie and some cream, and it was frozen, and they chopped it up and then rolled it out. So basically I just had rolled brownie chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, so you showed me a video, and I had heard of this. I read about it maybe last week, and I mentioned it to Laura that we should go try it out, but I hadn't seen a video of them doing it, or had not been to a place where they did it. But you showed me the video before we got on, and so once they were done, they poured the ice cream out on a cold slab and then rolled it with the ingredients, and once they rolled it, it looked like a small ice cream egg roll or burrito, I guess, and then they put it in a little cup for you.
Right.
It looked like a good portion.
It looked, yeah.
I mean, average.
Yeah.
It's ice cream, so it looked good.
It was good. I just don't know. That's my thing. I don't know if the rolling up of ice cream makes the ice cream any better. And having said that, I said this off air. Ice cream's ice cream to me. I mean, I can tell you the difference in a good steak and a good hamburger. Ice cream's just good.
All right, and you said that, and I didn't say anything when we were talking about off the air because I wanted to save it for this. I disagree.
Oh my God.
No, not. I mean, I don't know why you have to go that route. It's there are differences in ice cream.
You won't say it off there, but as soon as we get in front of millions of our fans,
millions of adoring fans.
No,
there's a difference in quality of ingredients. Like you have ice cream that actually has like cream and sugar, like milk ingredients, and there's like the fake stuff that's out now.
Of course, but I mean, what I'm talking about is like.
Was it crystallized? Like if it crystallized, that's bad ice cream, or was it smooth and like did it melt and actually have some ice cream consistency still?
I don't know. I ate.
You don't know?
I don't know. I didn't sit there and like
scarfed it down.
I just scarfed it down. I think it was good. It was really good, but I think the rolling up it's gimmicky. I just don't know how long that's going to last. You see what I'm saying?
And you mentioned the price.
It's a little bit on the pricey side. I got it was the brownie, and then my wife got this thing that it was basically Oreos, cookies and cream, and it was near $19
for two of you.
For two of us,
medium, small, large.
Yeah, medium. I mean, it wasn't like oh my god, look at all this ice cream. It was like, wow.
Did they have size selections?
No, it was just kind of one size,
okay.
and you can choose from like 6 different items.
Okay.
But try them out. I encourage you to try them out. Let me know what you think. It wasn't bad ice cream. It was actually really good. I just don't know, like...
Would you rather buy a tub of ice cream and just eat it at home?
Yeah, man.
I mean, it sounds like...
It's a lot of waiting and working for ice cream. You know what I mean? Like, you can go to the Bluff Park ice cream shop up here, and
sure.
like they scoop it up, put it in your bowl, and you on your way. There, I mean... Let me put it this way, and this is not a joke. We get out of the car, and we were walking up to the front door, and a minivan pulled up, like right in front of the front door, and I was like telling my wife, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we passed that minivan, that door flung open, and 3 kids jumped out, and they were all excited. And I was like, if we get behind them, we'll be here all day. Because they only have 2 little areas or maybe 3 areas to make these. And so... You're not making anything else if those things are full. You're just going to sit there and wait. And luckily, we were able to. I knocked the child out of the way and got in the door.
That's a good way to do that.
Yeah. No, but it was good ice cream. I just don't know. The price kind of hindered me a little bit, and I don't know if rolling up ice cream makes it better. And that's what it's about for me. Better.
And you just really want the ice cream anyway. You don't care if it's rolled.
I don't care if it's rolled, scoop, put in a. You know what, man? Just go to Dairy Queen, give me an M&M Blizzard with some Reese's Cups, and I'll be good to go.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Other restaurant-type news. I frequented the Pizzitz a lot, as you know. One of my favorite spots in there was Ono Poke. Have you been there?
No, but I've heard you talk about it over and over again.
So when you walk in the main front area, what I would call the front of the Pizzitz, it's right there to your left. And
maybe I have been there. What do they serve?
Poke bowls, like, sushi tuna type stuff. Rice.
No, I went to a different.
It's one of my favorite spots in there. There's always seems to be people, especially at lunchtime. Like there's a pretty good amount of people buying the food there. They're opening a new location in Homewood in the Edgewood district area.
Ah,
yeah, so that's going to be a good spot.
Well, speaking of the Edgewood area and restaurants, there's Gianmarco's in the Edgewood area.
Oh, yeah.
Gianmarco's is opening up a pizza place in West Homewood. We drove by there today. It looks almost done. I know the website said it's opening in late January. And if you've ever been to Gianmarco's, I have never been. We have planned to go like 3 or 4 different times, and something always came up. But I have friends of mine that have been there, and they talk about how phenomenal it is.
I've been maybe 10 times.
It's phenomenal. I have not heard anybody say it's okay.
I've never had anything bad there. I've had a pretty good variety of things. They've got a pretty good sized menu.
The wine selection is really
and the
good.
wine selection is great. Their specials are always on point. So I almost never order off the main menu. I always just wait for them to tell me what the specials are. Little known to a lot of people. I was recently introduced to what they call the wine bar. It's kind of behind John Marco's.
Now, how do we say this? Is it Gianmarco's or is it John Marco's?
I say it like 3 different ways.
Yeah, okay. So
my wife corrects me sometimes. I don't really remember how she says it. Maybe Gianmarco's.
We'll call it the Awesome Restaurant in Homewood.
So the wine bar is there behind it, and they've got this whole huge like wine selection back there. You buy the wine at price, I think, instead of the markup.
I think that's right.
There's less seating out there, but it's more casual. It's the same restaurant food. They cook it in the restaurant and just walk it back to you.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you eat good food.
No, it really doesn't.
Do they roll up the food there?
It depends on what you get. I don't think they have rolled ice cream, so you'd have to go to the Lucky Cat afterwards for that.
Yeah, I bet they have like really good ice cream at Gianmarco's.
I've never had any ice cream there. I don't know.
They probably have a gelato there.
I've had a couple of desserts. I don't think I've ever asked for a gelato or ice cream or anything. But Edgewood and Homewood, man, you're getting some. You've got Gianmarco's, you've got Taco Mama, Saul's Barbecue, Little Donkey, that new bar taco place.
Right.
And then Ono Poke. Man, there's a lot of good restaurants.
Saul's is actually going to open up a new restaurant in the South Side.
I don't know. I know they're expanding to the building next to them, I think.
I think they're going to open up a new restaurant downtown.
Okay.
I think that's kind of the word on the street. We have a lot of good restaurants in Birmingham. We are spoiled, but in the South, we actually have really, 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 really good food. So we're lucky in that respect. But try Lucky Cat. Try the Gianmarco's when it opens up. It's got to be good pizza. I mean,
I'd hope so.
With as good as food as they're doing. But yeah, I'm glad they're going to open something up over there because that's a really cool area of West Homewood. So, all right, let's take a break. Let's hear from our friends over at Beach and Woodworks, and we'll come back and go over a few things that are happening in our corner of the world. Beach and Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beach and Woodworks creates affordable, quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beach and Woodworks, turning your house into a home.
Welcome back to the Red Mountain Express. So we've gone over a few lists before that Birmingham's been on in past episodes. We have made a new list this last week. Biz Journals reported that a study done by Abodo, that's ABODO, has named us number one metro area for healthcare jobs in the U.S.
Doesn't shock me.
Yeah, not surprising at all. I know UAB employs a ton of people.
And then Children's, and then
Princeton,
Brookwood Baptist, they
Shelby,
merged. Yeah.
What's the religious one I'm thinking of?
I said Baptist.
No, not Baptist.
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's. Did you say that?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so all of those places, plus all the little clinics and little specialty places. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Almost everybody I know, every family I know has somebody that works in healthcare, it seems like. So that's cool.
It's a really good list to be on.
It really is. It's only one industry, but it employs a lot of people. There's a lot of money in it for us, for the state, for the employees. So what they did was they ranked the top 50 most populous areas in the U.S. For ratio of job density in metro to job density in the U.S., and that's how they selected people in these spots. Birmingham came in number one for healthcare jobs, came in number 43 for tech, computer, and math jobs, number 44 for business and finance jobs, number 25 for construction jobs, and number 46 for community and social service type jobs.
You hear that, Apple? We're 43 in tech jobs.
We could use you.
If you come in, we'll be number one.
Or at least number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure we can take number 1.
Their Palo Alto is probably
right.
Numero uno.
Or almost anywhere in the West
Seattle,
Coast.
Yeah. But hey, I'll take top 10.
Yeah. No, It's huge.
We'll follow up on a story. I'm going to follow up on a story we talked about a couple weeks ago. Shipt was purchased by Target for was it $500 million, I think was what the price tag was.
In cash.
Yeah. God, that's amazing. But starting February 1st, Shipt will begin delivering from Target in the Birmingham area. We'll be one of the first areas in the United States to get this. I think South Florida was the other area, and then they're going to expand it to 57 other metro areas throughout the year. But that's exciting, and I don't think it's just groceries. I think it is, if you need a lampshade.
I think, from what I understand, they'll bring it to start with groceries and then move on to home goods like in the coming months.
So how would you feel? Like you're sitting there at the house, you need a new wastebasket for the bathroom, you don't feel like going to Target, you got to get groceries too.
Personally, I love it. Like, I don't know how much I'll use it because I live really close to a Target, which is really convenient. But there are times where, maybe you are busy, especially with a child coming soon. There's going to be times where I'm sure I'll have my hands full with a child and can't go to Target right away.
Oh, you're going to have your hands full.
Right. So, hey, I need some diapers. And I can't leave the house. Baby's sick. Shipt. I need some diapers from Target. Like, that sounds excellent to me.
The best thing about Shipt, I will say, is that when you're coming home from like a road trip
Mm-hmm.
and you have nothing at the house to eat, you can put it all in and you can say, I need it delivered at this time. As long as you're here by that time, it is so great to come home and then have groceries like arrive.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of you coming home, getting everything unloaded in the car, and then going back out. Because usually when you get home from a long trip, what do you want to do? You want to stay in.
Yeah. You want to put your pajamas on and get ready for whatever happens in the next rest of the week or the coming week. Or even just working. Like, you're working till 5 o'clock. You don't want to come home and go to the grocery store. So, like, being able to put a Shipt list together, have that coming in like 6 o'clock after you got home at 5 o'clock, man, that's excellent. We use it a lot.
And I know Shipt said they're still going to use still deliver from other locations like Publix was what their main one is. Do you see that kind of going away after a while and going exclusive to Target?
I don't know about that because right now they've got, from my understanding, and I could be missing one here, but you've got Publix, Costco, and soon to be Target, and I want to say Piggly Wiggly may have some Shipt shoppers in certain areas.
Really?
I think I could be wrong about that, but in my head that seems like that's a thing I've seen. Anyway, but you've got at least those 3 stores for sure.
I think if they looked at their numbers and saw that the vast majority of their shoppers were coming from Target, then they would think about doing it. But if it's diversified the way you say it is, yeah, then there's no reason you'd lose half your customers or maybe more.
Right. So with Target buying Shipt, it changes things a little bit. But basically, you've got your Shipt shoppers. They're going to Publix for you. Shipt is only getting the money that you get from the subscription that you're paying to Shipt for that service. They're not getting anything off
There's
the
not
top.
a markup on any of the products?
Not that I've seen. And I don't think there's any tax or service or anything. It's just your Shipt shopper gets paid whatever your subscription fee is, or from that subscription fee, their hourly rate, and then you can tip them. But that's it. So with Target now being in the mix and Target owning Shipt, I'm sure Target may find a way to get some of that profit margin off what they're selling to go into the Shipt division or Shipt pocket or however you want to put it. So I can see where they wouldn't want to give that money to Publix and would want to keep it for themselves, but then that also eliminates a lot of people who would only use Publix for groceries and wouldn't want to use Target for groceries. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I don't know. It could happen. Businesses being what they are, corporations wanting to keep money in their own pockets and not give money to other businesses, competing businesses, it would make sense in that regard, but I think it would really cut off a lot of the people who use that service right now, especially since there are competing services that would still be using Publix. There's another shopping service in the area.
I know what you're talking about.
Came from San Francisco, I think.
Yeah, and we've used that one before.
Oh, you traitor.
It's not a trader. It was a free subscription.
Yeah, no, I've
it's
heard
called
that too.
being cheap, Yeah.
But can't think of their name.
They're pretty good, although they always leave something out, man. It's just like, oh, where's the Diet Coke? Oh, they forgot the Diet Coke.
Yeah.
It
happens. You can't all be Shipt.
Exactly right.
So yeah, I don't know. Don't know about that.
So Matthew, tell me some sports news that I'm going to really throw my microphone against the wall when you say it.
Took me a second when you said that. All right. So do you remember around 2001, Vince McMahon and the WWF, in conjunction with NBC, came up with this brilliant idea. They said college football is not enough, and they said pro NFL football may be too much. What the people really want
is mediocre football.
Is something in the middle. We're going to call it XFL to show how extreme we are.
It was so terrible,
because we
man.
were just coming out of the 90s, and you had to be extreme. That's what the XFL really meant to me. And we're going to not only have some famous wrestlers come in and help like host these events, maybe some personalities playing on the field. We're also going to have scantily clad women that will call cheerleaders, but come on.
They're not cheerleaders.
So do you remember the XFL?
Unfortunately, I do.
8 teams, 2 divisions, 2001, lasted 1 season.
And the best thing about the NFL, or the XFL, was at the end of the year they had the championship. It was called the $1 Million Game, and the winning team got to split $1 million. And it's like, after you split it among 36 players, I mean, that's really not that much money.
36 players, support staff.
Yeah.
I mean, do the cheerleaders get a cut of that?
They should. That's why people watch the games.
So, weird news. I'm not
terrible.
sure. I'm not sure how to take this or where it's going. Okay. Also, I need to cover that Birmingham did have an XFL team. We were the Birmingham Bolts. Originally the Blast, and then changed to the Bolts.
Because apparently Vince McMahon or their marketing team had never really studied Birmingham, and they started calling them the Blast.
Yeah, people took offense to
a little bit, yeah.
apparently Vince McMahon, now of WWE, has announced a new company, and the goal of this company, from what I understand, is to bring the XFL back.
Because it was so successful the first time around.
Right, yeah. One season, I'm sure he got his money's worth. But apparently this is the right time. He feels it's something he wants to do, and I don't know that we're on an official short list, but I've seen a couple of reports that mention Birmingham as being a great spot to bring another XFL.
This is the one time that I will say that Birmingham doesn't need something.
We don't need to be on this list?
Nope, we don't need to be on this list. It's bad football. It's bad football. Let's get down to it. I mean,
it's hard-hitting, fast.
It's terrible. Like, the XFL had terrible rules. Like, one, instead of having the coin flip, they had like the scramble for the ball. And I remember the very first one, I think it was in Las Vegas, they did the scramble for the ball, and one of the guys broke his collarbone. So they were just off and running at that point.
Yeah.
And it was just terrible football. I mean, it was like watching, high school football on national television.
Mixed with wrestling.
Yes.
But not your wrestling, but like good old WWF wrestling.
Yeah. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'll be completely honest. I don't think I ever actually watched an XFL game. I may have seen a few news clips here and there, but the idea didn't appeal to me. I don't know what the audience is for or who the audience is for this.
People that'll watch anything on TV. That's, I guess, your audience, because I am not watching it.
Or people who, okay, like we mentioned earlier, college football is over. We've got several months before that comes back. NFL, we've got one more game.
You know what I do between college football and college football starting up again? I watch baseball.
But not everybody does. Some people want some football in their lives.
I'm sure that we can find something for everybody. One, it's terrible football. It's a terrible product, and it'll never come to fruition. I think I read the story where he said we're going to be started by 2020. No, no, and you're not going to compete against NFL. And I don't know, are they going to do it the fall? Are they going to go in the winter like they did last time? Nobody wants to watch this in the winter. Nobody in Minnesota wants to be in a stadium in February. Well, they do now because you'll be in the Super Bowl, but like, you know what I mean? I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, but I'm with you. Like, I don't know what the appeal is. Not a general.
We have a football team. It's called the Birmingham Legion. Okay, there we go.
It's not American football.
That's not American. That's not American football. That's crappy football.
I just don't know what the business plan is. I don't know why you'd put all the money and effort into bringing this in if the last one only lasted one season. There's a reason it only lasted one season. It didn't make any money.
Yeah,
like there wasn't an audience for it.
The very first game, because in preparation I read about the XFL because after it was over I really didn't give a crap about it. But they had huge audiences the very first game. It was better than what they had promised their advertisers.
Yeah.
But it dropped off by like 60% the next game. And then it was like minuscule. And NBC owned 50% of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And probably lost their butt on it. I mean, like...
This doesn't seem like the right time to try and do that again.
No. And, I don't want them in our brand new stadium downtown.
I don't think they would be. They played at Legion Field last time, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. They can have that. Not have it, but they can, play there. Like, we've got other stuff happening.
Look, I'm sure we can find an empty park somewhere in Birmingham where they can go play. Because I don't think Legion Field's too good for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
All right. Speaking of stadiums, speaking of Legion Field, speaking of having sports events here in town, got a tip online that there's a city council meeting happening on Wednesday the 31st. Pulled up the notes of order or
I think you have to have like a public notice, right?
Yeah. The only topic on that list for that meeting for the 31st says expansion and renovation of BJCC.
Now, is expansion, do you think that's stadium?
I think that could include new meeting spaces, new stadium, maybe even just expanding like the entrance areas, the foyers, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it covers all that, I would imagine. But it could also cover a stadium if you include that in the BJCC.
I think, that should be part of it. I'm glad that it's going to be up for discussion. And this being called, I don't think you're going to call a meeting like this and have it fail. Let me put it that way.
Well, and it kind of paints we're going off like a blurb here, so it's a lot of speculation, but it paints a picture that maybe something's happened in the background and they want to, try and move forward on it or talk about it more.
I just hope that, I know with the county commission providing funding, they need to provide funding as well, but need to go and find out some outside sources as well. So maybe that's happened. But more importantly, there's going to be a conversation about it,
right?
Which has been lacking recently.
Yeah.
So,
and I know you mentioned to me that Mayor Woodfin made a statement.
Yeah, he said that Legion, a renovation of Legion Field and a new stadium at the BJCC are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, so that's good to hear.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I just think that it is a good thing that they're actually going to have a special meeting about it. It's going to be the only thing on the agenda, right?
Yes.
And so it gets it all out there. I've been kind of surprised by the city council, and they're working together. They know that this is the time if you want to start expanding on the BJCC. Birmingham's hot right now. I mean, a lot of things are going for the city. Let's go ahead and let's try to get this done so we can kind of move forward. And because we've been talking about a new stadium in Birmingham since I lived in Montgomery as a kid,
for years and
years and years. Let's finally get it done, and let's move on to other things. Let's talk about infrastructure. Let's talk about transit. Let's talk about bringing new businesses into Birmingham. Steve or Tim Cook, if you're listening. So I mean, let's go ahead and get this done, and let's get this off the list, and let's move on to other things.
Yeah. So speaking of moving on to other things, final thing that I saw this week caught my attention. AL.com had an article about the Brown Marx building.
Right.
There on First Avenue North.
Heaviest corner on earth.
Yeah. It's there along with the Woodward building, the Empire building, which is now the Eagleton Hotel, and the John Hand building.
Right.
Which is where Shipt and several other businesses are located. Basically, Tupelo Hotels 1031 Acquisition LLC.
So let's go into that real quick.
Okay.
Where are they located?
So they share an address with another company called Ascent Hospitality.
And what is Ascent Hospitality?
Ascent Hospitality is recently known for developing the Eagleton Hotel.
There you go.
It sounds a little bit not fishy because that paints a negative picture, but convenient.
I think the Brown Marx building is going to be a hotel.
Yeah. There's all indications is that if this company is just a new name or a new division of Ascent, and that they've bought this building next door to the Eagleton, they paid $3.7 million for it.
Mm-hmm.
They also bought the All Right parking deck there on First Avenue North.
And I think that's right behind the building.
I'm not positive, but I think so.
$1.6 million parking deck.
$1.6 million parking deck. So you've got a brand new building right next to a brand new hotel with a brand new parking deck in your pocket. And looks like you might be owned by the same company that opened this brand new hotel. All right, so if that's true, 2 hotels back to back, how do you feel about that?
We need more hotels in downtown Birmingham.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
To attract some of the things that we want to attract, one of the biggest knocks on Birmingham has always been that we don't have the hotel space. I know when they talked about getting the DNC here, that was the big knock. Also, we don't have the transit for it. I mean, obviously was probably the biggest thing, but we don't have the hotel space. You'd be putting folks in Huntsville and Montgomery just to bring them in. So more hotel space is better. It's more tax revenue. I will say the price of $3.6 million is small for a building that big. I mean, that's a big building.
For a building that big.
Which means it's going to need a lot of renovation.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you saw they used to have that walkway around it because part of the facade was falling off.
Yeah.
And they've recently taken that out because they were cleaning it up, and I'm sure they were trying to sell the building at some point. So that's good. I know that building is one of the last buildings in that kind of area that's just empty.
Yeah, of those 4 buildings on that block, it was the only one that's currently empty.
So it'd be nice to kind of have that one full again. It may be mixed use. It may be part hotel, part office space. I know if you go to like Mobile, the Battle House is like that. It's part hotel, part office space, and it's a historic building as well.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I'm with you. We've got, if we have a new stadium coming in, if we have BJCC renovations coming in, if we can attract events that bring more people in, they need a place to stay. And downtown is a great place to stay. Have them stay downtown. It's close to the event they're going to attend. Plus, let them see what Birmingham has to offer while they're in the area. All the restaurants and sightseeing type stuff.
And I like old buildings being hotels.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have the Redmont that opened up this past or last year. You have the Eagleton. Then you'll have the Brown Marx Hotel, whatever it's called. I think that's really cool. I think that shows a little bit of character in the city instead of staying at some old. I love a Hilton, and I love a Homewood Suites, and I love some
Holiday Inn
stuff like that. But there's something cool about staying in old hotels. That's just something
that's got some history to it.
Yeah, and then there's the other hotel that's in Birmingham, and my mind's blank right now, but it's kind of downtown as well that I love.
Yes, you got me. You spread to me. I can picture it. I know where the building's
I guess
located.
I'm looking at it right now, and
it's got a bar on top of it.
Yeah. Why is my mind going blank right
Tutwiler?
now? The Tutwiler, yeah. This is we're gonna get hit for this. Like, how do you not know the Tutwiler? I just was on the tip of my tongue, but that's a pretty hotel.
It is. And the recent renovations in it.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's good news. I would love to see more details on this because it's been very. There've been. You said Aspire, or is it Ascent? Is not.
Ascent.
They're not commenting on this, right?
No, they hadn't commented according to AL.com, and apparently the purchase happened at the end of last year and is just now being reported on. So it seems like they didn't really announce or show their cards on anything, and somebody just got a hold of this information and decided to report on it. So
interesting news.
Not really any information about what's going to happen, but I'm sure there will be sooner rather than later.
Get the trucks out, man. Start renovating. Let's go. So you got anything else for us, Matthew?
No, I think that's going to do it.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Red Mountain Express. Thank you for being with us for this 30th edition. We'll be back next week. Remember, you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram and on our website, redmountainexpress.com. Please comment and let us know what you'd like to hear. But that'll do it. For Matthew Joyner, I'm Blake Westbrook. We'll see you next week.